Welcome one, welcome all. We invite you to a dreamy mid-May day in the Bay. There is a glow to the place as MLS Next Pro Match Week 11 unfolds in full view tonight on the campus of the University of San Francisco. To the Western Conference's most uplifted outfits coming together as San Jose Earthquakes 2, fresh out of a midweek duel with Real Monarchs, fashion their attention with the squad that beat them on match day 1, Portland Timbers 2. Both sides still unbeaten over the course of the month. Howdy folks, I'm Peyton Gallagher, excited to bring you all the conflict on offer today with San Jose Earthquakes and Portland Timbers 2 engaged for the second time this year. And starting off with Dan DeGear, the team news with the home side. It is that 4-3-3 that's been so patented. The wingers will lead the way as Zach Bohane and Shane DeFlores have been lethal in the attacking end, but with a handful of changes, 4 to be precise. Heavy rotation as this squad tries to get back in full form after the midweek match that went the distance into penalties against Real Monarchs. For Portland Timbers 2, 6 games unbeaten for them as they stride into this one coming off the victory 2-1 at home over Minnesota United 2, and only the one change for Jack Cassidy in his first year as manager with this Portland project. Ben Bargiolo steps aside so that Noah Santos can come back into the squad with 3 goals on the year. Kickoff coming up as we step out to the live pictures now for a mouth-watering fixture. And so it goes, heading in toward the central stretch of this 2026 MLS Next Pro campaign, just as the focus begins to sharpen. These two teams look at each other above the playoff line and in the midst of the chase for the seeding in the Western Conference. Once more, a game between teams that saw each other on match day 1. Portland taking that one by a score of 2-1 after San Jose Earthquakes 2 found the early goal 3 minutes in. Portland would find the equalizer, then score. Cometh the 89th minute to claim all 3 points on the day. It will be a less than easy challenge for them here on the road as we move into the full swing. San Jose Earthquakes 2 unbeaten over their last 3 and only 1 loss in their last 8 against one of the most unblemished sides over the last 6 or so weeks. Portland Timbers 2 having not seen a full defeat over 90 minutes in their last 6 games. They have lost on the occasion of 3 penalty shootouts, but found a way to at least get a single point with the last 6 contests. And it's a dangerous one straight away. Calling Griffith will force it out of play. Throw into Cup. Griffith coming off the match last weekend where he scored against Minnesota United 2. And he's got Portland on the front foot on the road. Jack Cassidy in his first year helming this project for Portland and has made a massive impact. Side that is the bottom reaches of all possessional categories, but has been very useful in the moments they have had the ball. All the way back to the goalkeeper, Sam Joseph. They will not be very fretful about when to go direct. They have led the league so far this year, Portland Timbers 2, in terms of the average vertical distance of pass. 7.7 yards to be precise. Now their passes have traveled forward. A keen understanding of the fact that the quickest path to goal is the one that is straight away. Lofted over the top, inspecting toward the feet of Julian Donnery. He was the man who scored 3 minutes in the last meeting with Portland those weeks ago. Slicing away at the far touchline and tilted into the box. Going to be chased out by Nicholas Dossman. Goal kick to come. In goal today for San Jose will be introduction of Francesco Montali. Seen Nathan Crockford get most of the responsibility as the number one. Connor Lamb last match with the captain's armband and was able to put up 7 saves in that contest with Real Monarchs. New player introduced in goal today, though. At the wide side, it's Portland with the imperative. Just about hooked away, but not fully dealt with. Some diligent defending to do for San Jose. Things begin to open up on the break. Kadron Spivey, talented teenager, only 16 years old, functioning as the number 10 and bearing much of the creative responsibility today. Rohan Rajgopal. And again, it's thrown forward in the direction of Julian Donnery, using that 6'5" frame to at least cause some concern at the back for Portland. Pressing in for San Jose, maybe just trying to tilt the field away from their own end, but failing to do so. Portland picked through the blockade and punch into the final third. Well-weighted ball wide, cut back in across the goal mouth, and nervously stuck out of play for a corner. It was Connor Ferguson who crept in the back door undetected. That late arriving run from left back could not provide the clinical edge on the final service, but nonetheless, Portland at least raising the blood pressure for a moment. Within swing, hustled in and hustled away at the near post. Shane DeFlores with the cover. San Jose hosting today. Unbeaten this year at home. 3 victories all told. No draws or defeats. Not gotten to play all their games here on the campus of the University of San Francisco. Been split now 2-2. But Dan DeGeer, very familiar with this venue, where he played his college soccer in the early 2000s. Now in year 5 with the wheel here in San Jose. Bringing back a squad this year that has many of the similar offerings of the team that was utilized to such great effect in 2025. High playoff positioning. Spivey slickly got away from one, but not the second tackle. Alex Bamford winning it back, and now it's pelted into the area, only for Spivey to sweep up. Alex Bamford opening up the window of opportunity there a moment ago for Portland, a player in the estimation of his gaffer has maybe been the most consistent player in this team for Timbers 2 in 2026. A scrap for it in the center of the park. It's been given away to Donnery, who loops it wide and invites Zach Bohane to join in the attack. Heisner, Donnery, Bohane, Rajgopal. Thoughts of a shot from distance. Now thinking better of it. Rajgopal circulating. A well-timed run. Bohane cuts it across. Got by the reach of the goalkeeper, but bandied away at the last stitch by Portland. Two of the better offenses in the league at odds today. It's looked that way 7 minutes in. Meaningful half chances on either ends. San Jose have been top 5 in the division in goals per 90. Just a tick up over 2. Of course, that is weighted a little bit by a 6-1 thrashing against Vancouver in one of those earlier mentioned home fixtures. All told, they have outscored opposition on their home turf by a massive margin. 10-3 across those 3 prior matches. Portland know what they're up against. In this particular sense, it will be the long throw. Wind blowing against this near touchline. Heisner. Rajgopal trying to pick the lock. It found its way all the way through to Donnery. Now a shot burst in from distance that cuts clear of the frame. Never got the dip. San Jose will not be shy about pressing. Away by Sam Joseph. Martin Quende was the one to reach it first, but couldn't keep it on. Eric Zoida deferring. So far has been one of the best chance creators throughout the entirety of MLS Next Pro as he sets over the free kick. 20 total chances created for him across these first 9 games for the Oregonians. Nothing but a searching ball in behind. Rajgopal, a pirouette of a turn. Fleet on his feet. The man running things in the middle. Not seen much of the play. Traverse down the left-hand flank so far. Both wingers, though, have that innate ability for San Jose to just flip a game like that. And only one movement, one deft touch. Rajgopal with the skin of the scene. He picks out Heisner. Should be said in regard to the wingers for San Jose. Pair of players that are very familiar with one another under that famed Stanford Cardinal program. The NCAA ranks Zach Bohan and Shane DeFlores. Also, Tomo Allen was part of the Stanford squad in 2025 before coming back and rejoining with San Jose. A more permanent deal after playing his academy soccer here. He's on the bench today. Charles Hondo. Portland are building out of a back 3. Tucking Alex Bamford in as that right-sided center back. Something we saw them do a little bit last time out against Minnesota. Scrolled into the corner. A tidy turn at the end line, waiting on the cutback. And it's cued out of play. Was it helped there by intervention by the goalkeeper? It doesn't look that's the case. Colin Griffith had every intention on potentially adding a 3rd goal of the year. Found himself at a tight angle, contested by a pair of defenders, called his own number. Montali. Portland have chosen an interesting tact early on in how they're pressing the goal kicks of San Jose, committing a high line of players and restricting access specifically to Rohan Rajgopal. Tempting San Jose to dump it in behind, and as they do so here and look for Julian Donnery, looks like they're going to draw the offside flag. It's a common theme with all the forwards that San Jose have utilized this year in that central role. Donnery has the ability to step outside and play on the wing, but at 6'5", that frame is imposing as a number 9. Calls a lot of attention from the center backs. Also true of the likes of a player like Tomo Allen, who's 6'4". Not so Adi Maboa as well. Flag is up for offside against Portland. Only called for 14 of them heading into this game, which was the 4th least in the entirety of MLS Next Pro. Looks like Martin Quende is up and ailing. Did not start last match and reinserted into the starting 11 today. He is requiring some degree of medical attention from the physio. He just wanted a swig of water to wash some blood out of his mouth. San Jose have failed to make any of those long balls in the vicinity of Donnery's stick in any meaningful way. Quende gets stuck in. Down in a dangerous area. Alarm bells ringing. Portland prowling forward. At the very end of things, it is sliding tackle from Jacob Heisner that extinguishes the immediate threat. Looked as if Noah Santos might be in the midst of a meaningful moment. Lost his bearings though, went to ground. Quarter hour gone, still scoreless. This portion of the match is brought to you by Ford. This throw-in is brought to you by Charles Ondo. 21-year-old from Equatorial Guinea. Paving a path straight into the heart of the area. Down by Bamford. Bit of a blind ball in behind as Nicholas Lund was always a little bit off balance with the ball arriving. And again, seeing a press that is almost begging San Jose to manufacture any pathway forward that's not through the feet of Rohan Rajgopal. They do find Martin Quende, who scrapes one across the sky, only for Charles Ondo to escort it away from harm. Corralled into the corner. Precarious spaces for Portland, and they've given it away. Spivey. Sleekly by a pair of tackles, but now Rajgopal's given it away. And it's Portland flying in formation on the break. Santos seeking space. Finds Colin Griffith, who fails to split a pair of defenders, and San Jose have done away with it. Zoida. Oh no. On a rainbow arc in the direction of Colin Griffith, who arrives on the scene with company. The cutback coming at the end line. Somehow sticks up. Velcroed just ahead of the touchline and stayed in play, but Portland snap it back. Lucas Fernandez and Santos stepping on the ball. So congested and compact in the center of the park. Skipping away and sending in a shot sailing over goal. It was Montali who rose to the call and helped it over the bar. Looked like Eric Zoida, who left his marker for dead. Gave it a pop. Couldn't usher in any kind of piercing blow, but it is a corner. Portland asking the important questions, specifically by way of Eric Zoida. He won the corner kick with his shot. He'll take the corner kick with outswing, with the wind breezing away. And so too goes the ball. Adolfo Enriquez and now Ondo. Center back has left it awkwardly in the lurch. Spivey is down back behind the play, and Portland pick up the pieces. Zoida with growing influence in those central spaces. Santos has left it behind. Spivey, Rajgopal. Zach Bohane. Gabriel Bracken-Serra. Bracken-Serra just trying to tempt a Portland defender to maybe step out of line and open up any kind of angle or avenue. That was a big thing that Dan DeCure had to say about specifically Rohan Rajgopal. That first phase progressive outlet. Both players showing it off so far, though. That ability to change the angles of approach and of attack can be so useful for a team that likes to have the ball and move it up in short increments as opposed to the big chunks. Zach Bohane, almost all of the forward progress coming down this right-hand side so far for San Jose. Bracken-Serra. Bohane trying to ride through the tackle. Instead gets ridden to the ground by Charles Ondo. And it's a free kick given. And a big man to look for in the box in the form of Julian Donnery. Not much question there. Bohane just had the defender in his hip pocket. With the change of the weight distribution, Ondo was always going to go straight through him. Gabriel Bracken-Serra out of the University of North Carolina, the 23-year-old, a team-high 10 chances created this year. Can he conjure one? Just about halfway play through this first half. Donnery lurking menacingly inside the D. Goalkeeper's going to come for it, apply the knuckle. Not a very convicted one, but scraped away nonetheless. And a cynical tackle to stop any imagination of a break. Referee having a think about as to whether or not that indiscretion is warranting of a yellow card. And at least will lead to a meaningful conversation. Jacob Heisner, the one who gave the tug. And he will escape with just a verbal warning. Alejandro Cano, then Nicholas Dossman, and all the way to the far touchline. Portland just refusing to step forward and meet San Jose any further up the field than they're willing to. That has been part of the ML for Timbers 2 so far this year. A willingness to be patient, not only with the ball but against it. Wait for the right chances to pounce and try and spark a transitional moment. That's a great pick out by the goalkeeper, Sam Joseph. And they are off and on their way, Portland. Connor Ferguson gets his cross in, but not before a collision that is beyond the bounds of what's legal in the eyes of Justin St. Pierre, center official. Bavik Dut and Emmanuel Padilla running the lines, and it will be Kevin Lewis will tabulate things at halftime. As the fourth official. Now it is Timbers 2 stepping forward a little bit more swaggerfully. Over the head of Donnery. And Sam Joseph will wrap his boot around it. Rising for it is Spivey, and now Bohan. In the area of Shane DeFlores, but never a real chance for him to actually get hold of it. And now a foul is called in midfield as the physicality starts to intensify. First booking of the game. Martin Quende gets his name taken. First yellow of the year for him. The Portland player out absorbed the contact. Colin Griffith will pop straight back up to his feet. Just a dusting down on what was a chopping challenge. Not much question in that. Just left the leg out a little bit too far. Griffith always going over it. Sloping in the direction of Griffith, who just goes right by Quende. Looked like Dossman had lost himself for a moment, but popped up in time enough to get the defending done. Portland push on once more. Charles Hondo. Noah Santos finds a way through, but in that process was maybe a bit out of control as he dispatched wide, and that's because he was interfered with. Foul called and tensions flaring. Jacob Heisner again in the midst of things, who's already been warned once, and I think he's alive to that fact as he gets out of there with reckless abandon. The referee will summon him once more. Doesn't look like any player is going to face any further repercussion beyond that. Starting to get a little bit gritty out there. Seen the temperature turn up noticeably over the last 4 or 5 minutes, even if it's barely perceptible. A couple more sparks here and there. Those are the kind of things that add up over the course of 90 minutes. Steam in the pipe, if you will. It would really pop off for Portland Timbers, too, if they can find the back of the net on this set piece. Zoida glides it all the way out for a goal kick. Or maybe not. Took a glance on the way there, and it will be a corner. Portland already on 13 touches inside the penalty area. Not even a half hour played. They'll go short here. Runs catty corner to the 18. And smuggled back into the Timbers end. Goalkeeper's way out from goal. As the ball is knotted off course and summarily sent straight back from whence it came. A game of total head tennis. And finally brought down by Fernandez. Fumbled away for a moment before being scooted free by Jacob Heisner. Charles Ondo again at the controls. Slashing to the wide side for Colin Griffith, who links in Lucas Fernandez. Free at the top of the box before twirling it high and wide. Connor Ferguson never fully got his laces on that. Had time to take it down, but with every reason to picture his name up in lights. Tried to hit it first time. Every fullback has pictured that exact moment every night when they've went to bed since they were a young child playing this game at the AYSO level. Not to be the dream for Connor Ferguson there. San Jose, in their own right, dreaming of a way to make it 1-0. Shane DeFlores delivers to no one in particular. Noah Santos. Zoida comes through the crowd, but doesn't make it very far. Zach Bohane off the ricochet. And there are spaces to explore for San Jose in the final third. Spivey. Bracken Serra and Heisner filtered through for Donnery. Puts himself up amongst it. Flies it in straight away. Looked like Shane DeFlores was calling for a bump in the back. Never going to happen there. Nonetheless, a good time to tell you that this portion of the match is brought to you by California Giant Berry Farm. Must be some big berries. Caromed back into the custody of San Jose. Would love to step forward and start to find some of that swashbuckling intonation that served them so well at times this year. That's one of the league's best attacks. There it is. Seeking ahead. Martin Quende, infield for Spivey! Saved at the near post. Bit of spite in the goalkeeping from Sam Joseph. This Portland team have kept a clean sheet more than once this year. 4 times to be precise, and they were not going to let go without anything but a white-knuckle grip, specifically by their goalkeeper. In fact, as Portland dig in to defend this, they've already kept more clean sheets throughout the course of this 2026 season than they did all of last year in 2025 for this campaign to only 3 the year prior. A testing of their mettle. The corner coming, and just enough of a pump from Sam Joseph, who has had a couple sparkling moments to add to his catalog. In short succession, he'll have another corner playing through his mind as San Jose draw closer and closer. Gabriel Bracken Serra will run the full width of the field and collect for an outswinging corner this time. 0-0. Match week 11 in MLS Next Pro. 2 playoff teams currently in the West. San Jose looking for separation. Swung back. And DeFlores will not have room enough to make anything happen. So Sam Joseph plays the biggest protagonist that we've seen so far in the game, denying a significant chance from Cadron Spivey and San Jose Earthquakes, too. Donnery hot on the heels as it's sent towards the midfield line. Lucas Fernandez and now Griffith, who runs into a wall in the form of Martin Quende. Held his ground, already booked once earlier in the game. On the twist, Noah Santos. Donnery dicing by one. And it's fallen kindly, at least for a moment, for Portland Timbers, too, as they provide pursuit and are provided with an escort out of play by Nicholas Dossman. Stiffly away once more by Quende. He'll be called upon again, and he answers the call. Ondo. And guided it into a dangerous area, and it's out for a corner. Portland have averaged a league best 6.7 shots on target per game. Still looking for what would effectively be only their second so far with 10 minutes left in the half. Zoida. It looked like it had a good shape to it. It's scuttled, and it's out for a goal kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by Theta Labs. Constructing from inside the 18-yard box, San Jose. They go straight away in the direction of Donnery. And are able to fully subsume the second ball. Oh, that's a slick turn. As it looked like Zach Bohane might have lost possession. It will be a free kick. All the way back at the touchline. So it looked like some degree of advantage was initially played before Bohane lost his footing. There's Bohane again. Bohane going for goal. And the block applied by Sam Joseph. Couldn't catch it clean. Pistons pumping for San Jose Earthquakes 2. Rojkopal, Bracken Serra, beaten back once more for another corner kick, or maybe not. Looks like it came off Bracken Serra last. Goal kick. A game that has been screaming for that first moment of real inspiration to open things up. Feels like everything might really come to life as soon as one of these teams finds that go-ahead goal. There's not been any actualized degree of tentativeness in the play. The other side is Cowden any direction. Just maybe feels like it needs a little bit of definition right now. Some contour in the contest. Possession has lapsed for San Jose. Zoida arrowing forward as Noah Santos gets it right back. Santos needs space. Sneaks it infield. Spivey. Portland Timbers 2 pinch it back. Ondo. Neatly contained by Santos, who spots a man at the back post. Blotted out again by Martin Quende Jr. And it's another corner. This is such clean work on the ball from Noah Santos in a cluttered area. Making the most of his opportunity in the starting 11 after not getting the opening nod last time out against Minnesota. Taken shortly, now angled in. Donnery will meet it with a bash. Five minutes left in the frame. 3 shots for each team. Only 3 total landing on target. 2 for San Jose Earthquakes 2 and 1 for the visitors Portland Timbers 2. That's not a very useful clearance. Gabriel Braccansera gets stuck in a second time to deal with his own mistake, and it's a throw in upfield for Earthquakes 2. Spivey will set it and allow for proper reinforcement to arrive. Up and over from Quende. Donnery off the back heel. And clean connection for Spivey. Donnery. Good piece of cover. Getting back. Timbers 2. It's still on. It rolled all the way down the line. Dispossessed is Santos. A disguised ball that was too well cloaked from LA Cano. Quende knew nothing about that as it rocked out of touch for a throw. Lino has whistled down something, whether it was an offside or a foul. Bit of a moot point. San Jose proceed. DeFlores. 3 goals for him on the campaign, Shane DeFlores. And a brace 2 matches ago as that one comes screeching across the face of the oncoming Zach Bohane. Bohane in his own right, coming off a match where he scored a lone goal against Real Monarchs. Found the back of the net in 3 of the last 4. 4 of the last 6 matches as well. Quende. Paul. Alejandro Cano. And Paul again. Fired down the line for Martin Quende Jr., who will not catch it up. Goal kick. pair of sides that, between the two of them, have only seen defeat once in the last 14 games, neither giving an inch. Can't imagine there's going to be too much stoppage time with how this one has cut across the first 45 minutes without much issue. Just feels as if either side has done the effective job of tying the opposition's right hand behind their back, taking away the things that they're very best at, specifically in the middle of the field. No central access, specifically for San Jose. Ondo. Santos fails to make much progress, but it will be a throw-in for Portland Timbers too, or maybe it's for San Jose, who stealthily set it forward quickly to Donnery. There is no offside on a throw-in. The board should pop up any minute now to reveal how much there is left in this first act. There is at least time enough for a long throw from Jacob Heisner. Everybody in the area treating this like a corner kick effectively. Goalkeeper finding the sun as it falls free in the middle. And thankfully dealt with by Timbers too. Daniel Cervantes was the one who cleared it. The Strikers had hardly anything to do so far in the game. It's only going to be 1 minute of stoppage time. First half that has flashed by without incident to its final 45 seconds or so. Ondo. Santos. It was stabbed away initially by Bohane, but Santos will grab it back, give it right back to Quende, who has his pocket picked by Griffith. That type of nip and tuck. Santos, he's been all over the place. On the 1-2, gets hobbled by Spivey. Yellow card, free kick. Should be the final action of the first half. Spivey leaving his feet, and with Santos steaming ahead. Not much cause for curiosity as to why the referee has reached for the pocket. That is also Kadron Spivey's first yellow of the year. Eric Izoida hatching his plan. Can he engineer an opener with the final kick of the first half? He cannot. And we swing into the break in a scoreless affair here in San Francisco. San Jose Earthquakes 2-0. Portland Timbers 2-0. Had a goal in the first 3 minutes in match week 1. Having to wait a little bit longer here today in the Bay. We'll break it all down when we return. Once more, our score at the half is 0-0. Coming up in our halftime show, we get to know the talented young players carving their own path in the Big Apple. And an announcement that will shift the landscape of MLS Next Pro. Plus highlights and stats all after this brief timeout.
Yeah. Boys hear sentiment, flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best, can't rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next, just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now. Oh yes, man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
We bring you back to San Francisco, where we find you at halftime in a scoreless affair between San Jose Earthquakes 2 and Portland Timbers 2. There is no shortage of success stories in MLS coming out of New York. Another solid young player is making his way with NYCFC. So let's get to know Arnaut Barnas in this Inside Look. Take a peek.
I think for sure was my mom. She was the first one to know it because she was working, and I sent her a message and I was like, please don't call because we have a meeting right now. But like I have to tell you, like they just told me like they want me to sign first team deal. So she was like, oh my God. Yeah, it was definitely my mom. Hi, I'm Arnaut Barnas, and I'm a midfielder / winger, and I play for New York City FC. When I signed here with the second team, my goal was always to be part of the first team, and since the moment I got drafted, that was my goal, that was my dream. And nothing is easy, you know, so that's why you have to work for it. Every call-up is an opportunity, and I'm thankful for the coaches to give me those opportunities. But like, it's not about the games, it's about every day, how you practice, how you prepare yourself, physically and mentally. And when the opportunity comes, that you have to be ready and know that if you have the opportunity, you have to prove yourself. They push you a lot, which is a really good sign. But they also have a really good connection with the team, special connection with the players also. And they are open, which is also important for a player because it gives you confidence when you play and when you train. And he was always super close, coach and all the staff, and give me a lot of confidence to me. And that's why I feel like I'm super happy for being part of this team, for the confidence from the staff and also from the players. One of the things, for example, Nico always says when he's here is like, and I've took it from all the players as well, but like, you are doing what you like and what's your passion. So coming here to practice, you are privileged, you know, having this job, because you are doing something that you really like and you really can, you grow with it. And coming here every day, yeah, there is people working for you, for the treatment, they're cooking for you. And how many people would love to have and to be in the position that you are right now. So I would say just enjoy the moment, push yourself in the moment that you have to push yourself, and yeah, enjoy. Super excited at the moment when I saw the ball going in. I kind of didn't believe it at the beginning, but after it was like a happiness feeling, you know, especially after with all my teammates, like they congrat me at the end of the game, and everybody came to support me and saying congratulations, and it was a really happy moment and a special moment in my career. I think I had a lot of good coaches in my career. I would say probably when I was at Celta, I would say Claudio. But I would say my best moment playing soccer was the decision to make here and go to college. The 4 years at Oregon State with all the coaches I had and all the staff I had, they really helped me develop myself physically and mentally. And I think it was the step that I needed in order to be a professional soccer player. So I'm super grateful for the opportunity that the Oregon State gave me. keep supporting us, keeping showing ourselves, keep coming to our games, because probably right now we are not having the best, we are not in the best moment of the season, but we for sure gonna come back, and we for sure gonna give some happy news soon to the fans.
Yeah. Boys hear sentiment, flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best. Can't rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next. Just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now. Oh yes, man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now.
Very excited to be here officially. I helped out a little bit last year. I really enjoyed my time working with the players, working with the staff. So I'm glad to be able to be on the staff full time and be involved. Towards the end of my career, I started thinking about what I wanted to do. Post playing, and coaching was something that for a while I didn't know if I wanted to do it. When my kids started to get a little bit older and I started doing it with them, I started enjoying it, and I thought I had a lot of knowledge that I could pass down to young players. That was kind of an easy decision after thinking about it. There's lots of different things that I can teach them from my career, but also, the mentality, the intensity, the winning mentality is what I want to bring to the young guys, because they're going to need that. I played at a high level college, and I was still a little bit overwhelmed when I first got here, and it's the adaptation. If you don't do it quick at that time, then you were kind of out of the system. But now I think, especially with the academy and bringing those guys up, and then moving into a environment like MLS Next Pro with North Texas, then I think it's a big jump in the quality of everything that is involved with this, and I think it's huge for developing players. I think there used to be a lot of guys who kind of got pushed out of the system if it wasn't working right away, but now those guys maybe get a second chance and can develop into good players. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it feels like home. Like you said, I've been here for a long time. I know a lot of people here. I knew John beforehand. I knew a lot of the other staff beforehand, and even some of the players I still know. So it's just nice to be back in a familiar environment and be able to give these players my knowledge. This year, I think my goal is to improve our defensive solidarity. Obviously, I want to try to improve individually the players in the defensive line, help them improve their tendencies. But as a unit, I want our group to be solid and to give up less goals. That's always the goal. And for me, that was my big thing as a player throughout my career. I always wanted to give up less goals, and I think that's something I want to pass on to these defensive players.
MLS has agreed to a deal that will see global investment firm KKR make a strategic investment and partner with MLS Next Pro. KKR will inject capital into MLS Next Pro with an eye on growing the league and its footprint around the continent. In conjunction with MLS, the partnership will oversee commercial strategy as it looks to move the 27 MLS-affiliated Next Pro teams into new markets, with an eye on building brands within those communities and seeking stadium development deals. We will no doubt see and hear more about this in the coming seasons. As for what's going on in the present moment, our game is scoreless between San Jose and Portland Timbers 2, 0-0 at the intermission. As for all the happenings from in and around the league and what is to come, we take a peek at all that has come and gone so far in this match week 11. And starting things off, Carolina Core, a 2-1 result over Chicago Fire 2 out there in the East. Portland Timbers 2 were able to get that result against Minnesota United 2-1 in the midweek, feeling very good about themselves as they press on in their season. As we look at what is coming up on the docket, it will be a handful of games taking place over the midweek and into Friday. That match between Ventura County and Tacoma of serious pertinence to our two teams today, as those sides are also in the mix in and about the playoff picture in the West. First half in the books, and here's how it looked. San Jose striking out first. They had the better of the chances, fashioning a few throughout the course of the frame. This one by Zach Bohan, never fully struck its mark. And on the other end, Portland pushing towards the area, getting it into Colin Griffith, would at least test the metering and measuring of the goalkeeper. That would be Francesco Montali. That was happy to watch it go wide of the stick. This was a moment of real sizzle from Eric Zoida, the only time in which the ball really tested the goal. And then San Jose would start to find the driving seat, as on that moment, Kadron Spivey would be turned away at point-blank range, the best chance of the first half, saved by Sam Joseph, and again at the near post, dug away, and fully cleared by Nicholas Lundz. And that pretty much wraps up how things have gone. Is there more to come in the second half? A question that we will answer on the other end of a break. 0-0 between San Jose Earthquakes 2 and Portland Timbers 2.
Yeah. Boys hear sentiment. Flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best. Can rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions. Trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next. Just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now. Oh yes. Man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
The unique energy of a Sunday night. Ideal for calm music, whispers, stargazing, reflection, and a relaxed environment. Sunday nights were made for this.
Sunday night soccer popping off between Nashville and LA. 3-2 in that game. Scoreless in hours. San Jose Earthquakes 2 and Portland Timbers 2 clashing in the Western Conference without separation in a quiet first half of play here at the University of San Francisco. Once more, I'm Peyton Gallagher. This game has been one of the nearly moment to date. Interesting tactical battle. Not much ground given by either side. Both these teams stepping into today with only combined 3 losses shared between them. It has felt that way. Just trying to get a reading as to whether or not there will be any alteration, not only in the personnel, but the plan for these two teams. That will inform things in the immediate sense. Is it consistency, business as usual, and faith in the process, or will there be a reactionary instinct from either of these two managers? Jack Cassidy and Dan DeGeer don't share a lot in terms of the experience. Jack Cassidy all across the game, and specifically in Denmark most recently, as he comes to MLS Next Pro to make his name this season. Dan DeGeer is part of the old guard in this league, has been an excellent steward of the San Jose Earthquakes 2 project through its multiple iterations as the town, and now back under the San Jose Earthquake namesake. But very similar focus and approach to the developmental process. A deep-seated belief specifically with Jack Cassidy that players need to play. Can't be micromanaged and over-manicured. Allowed to make choices and decisions and experiment, especially at this MLS Next Pro level. This is a scientific regard to the approach. And it's worked wonders for Portland so far. Foul at the end line called against the man booked in the first half, Martin Quende, making his 5th start of the campaign. Starting to find some rhythm. A dispossessing tackle from Ale Cano as he leads the break. Zach Bohane. Cano's still up amongst it. Swings in across. Jabbed back. It falls at the feet of Martin Quende. Now Shane DeFlores, who would love to find something of a groove in the second half. After first 45 minutes, that really saw him find the pulse of the contest. Rajgopal saw Jacob Heisner pick up his hand to protect his eyes from the sun there for a moment, shining directly into his visage. See those long shadows casting from the near touchline to the far one. Curious to see if that will make any kind of impact on how things play out in this half. That's a well-crafted ball in behind. Heisner taking it down to Donnery. Left behind Heisner. It all looked like it was starting to bloom for Earthquakes too. Cold spell. Froze up any attacking intent. Lucas Fernandez fiddling away. Santos. And San Jose back on top of it. Spivey seeking forward and slipping in across. Doesn't clear the first hurdle. And away by Sam Joseph. This portion of the match is brought to you by Valley Health Plan. Martin Quende Jr. with plenty of runway as he escapades into the final third. To Flores. Spivey in a soft spot. Wriggles away from him. Bohane looking for another bite, but this is Heisner. Now Bohane gets it. The cross is ill-measured. It does fall free for Quende. Off a deflection. It goes skewing into the air before being snapped off the head of Charles Ondo by the goalkeeper, who's giving it right back. Ondo's down. San Jose starting to blockade. Really tilting the field to start this second half of play inside the first 5 minutes. Coursing forward. Donnery. No inroads. Every time it feels like it's starting to materialize for San Jose. They put a foot wrong. Player's not in the right space at the right time. They may pay on the break. Noah Santos stopped up. Zoida. Nicholas Lund. Alex Bamford. I'll lob it towards Donnery. There's a host of attacking impact on the bench for San Jose Earthquakes too. Like Sotomo Allen, Jermaine Spivey, and others. Do wonder if Dan DeGear might look into that dugout soon if things don't change. Hoisted into the area, it's taken down tidily. The shot comes ricocheting out. There just was no room for Shane DeFlores, who did brilliantly to tether it down. Caught up in a thicket of defenders. See 4 or 5 green shirts in and around him. Nobody losing their head. Spivey is somewhat unguarded at the crook of the area. Instead, it looks like San Jose will send it straight into the mix. Hit with venom. Popped away by the goalkeeper, Sam Joseph, who's been the best player for Portland so far. Spivey on a low line. Kano taking a chance and giving the ball away. Suddenly it's numbers the other way for Portland Timbers too. Fernandez can't free himself up. Never fully brought the ball, I should say, under his spell. That looked like it was going to be the chance with Kano in such an awkward spot. Story of the night, though. Something's just been amiss. See exactly how close it came as it got all the way through across the back line. Short-handed back line for San Jose. Kano out of the picture. Their sturdy center back. Nonetheless, San Jose stride on. Aside from that one gaff, they have been the dominant figure in this fixture in the second half. Donnery making a diagonal shape of a run towards the touchline. Prodded out of play. And the long throw is what's on the menu, it looks like, for Jacob Heisner. Seems to be the specialist with the center backs getting into the mix and in the box. Again, he'll be fighting the Sun in the delivery, but nobody who's vying for the ball will have that same issue. Roshka rolling it wide. Heisner to the end line. Bohane is there. Heisner again. Off the bounce, it's Santos. Streaming upfield. Cervantes. Hardly called his name. Daniel Cervantes scored the last game against Minnesota. Goals in the last 2. Nothing more than a whisper of an impact from him, leading the line. On the other side, Jack Cassidy has plenty of options in his own right to shake things up. Ben Bargiolo, very talented wide player that's featured in and around the U.S. Youth National Team setup. He's the one that comes to mind immediately. Of course, Maximilian Kissel, who scored the all-important late goal in the 89th minute against San Jose Earthquakes 2 in the first matchup as the referee assesses things here. Let's take a peek. Again, it was Zach Bohane coming to grips with Charles Ondell, and it looks like the big center back will just about escape without a booking, but just more on Maximilian Kissel. Scored that goal against San Jose on match day 1. Set the tone for their season. On top of that, was able to get the assist last game off the bench against Minnesota United. Teenage attacking player. Rather than actually 23-year-old, excuse me. The University of Vermont was such an important figure in their championship charge. NCAA ranks. Here's Bohane. Loose first touch, but not much of a chase provided by Portland. Dossman recovers it. Well-tuned ball into the middle, and immediately the opposite provided by Julian Donnery. Colin Griffith calls his own number, takes it on. Wide man, spare man is Santos. Santos! Sprayed wide off the deflection. Looks like that might be the moment. And Santos just got his defender to lean and give him the half yard. That is a massive reaction block, it looked like, by Alecano. Nonetheless, Eric Zoida recovers it for a corner. Been a bit of a procession of them throughout the course of the game. Here it comes. Not even a chance. Falco. To that point, just in terms of keeping everybody alive and alert to maybe some of those pressure points in the game. Of the players that are booked, there are only two. Cadron Spivey, as well as Martin Quende Jr. That could certainly change the game in a rapid-fire succession. Down by Donnery. Up by Bohane. Collected by Cadron Spivey. Rajgopal rampaging and perfectly placing a pass wide for Heisner. Spivey sinking into the box is Bohane. Heisner is offside. This portion of the match is brought to you by El Camino Health. This would be an apropos time to mention that in the history of this matchup, San Jose and Portland in its many forms and fashions, they've seen each other a bunch down the years. Never has there been a 0-0. We're an hour in, and it's 0-0. In fact, the team that has won this game has scored multiple goals on 10 of the prior 12 occasions. Another quick offside. So long as we are putting a bow on the series anthology, the home team has won the game or the shootout in the last 4 meetings between the teams, but that is a recent turn of events. Prior to that, the road sides actually were the team that carried the most of the success. On only one occasion in those prior meetings had the home team actually been successful. That is, of course, to the most recent 4 matchups. So there is your daily serving of useless historical MLS Next Pro data. Might be useful to somebody. Skirting the field of play for a throw. Now we're gone. Neither manager has looked to make any kind of change. Starting 11 still out on the field for both teams. Managing the minutes and the rest. Both teams coming into this one off short weeks. Whirling Dervish in a precarious position. Colin Griffith gripping the game. Cervantes. Somebody's got to make the choice to take the risk. Maybe it's Noah Santos. A skipper all the way back to the goalkeeper, Francesco Montali. It's been Santos, though. Let's put the greatest stir into the game for Portland. Time and time again, he has had the decisiveness to create the opening. Confiscated in for Donnery. And it fouls up, literally in this instance, inside the 18. Foul called against Donnery. At the end of 90 minutes, if there is no team that has the upper hand, it will go into a penalty shootout. Teams will shake on a share. 1 point split between each side, and after that penalty shootout, whoever comes away with that little bit extra, they will have 2 points to show as a reward for the energy given over the course of the game. Of course, Portland are unbeaten in 6, but they have had 3 penalty shootouts in that span. They've lost all of them. Should also mention they scored in each of the last 5 games, multiple goals in each of the last 4. That's something they never did at any point over the course of the 2025 season. That streak would obviously be broken if they can't find some degree of pay dirt. They'd have to score multiple goals to keep that streak alive. Something hard to imagine at this present point. Cervantes. Daniel Cervantes. Springing up for it was Martin Quende. And springing out from his own box to chase it all the way to the touchline before ends up crossing over that line for a throw. Referee has stopped play for some reason. I think maybe Gabriel Bracken-Serra is having some dialogue with him. It does look like Edwin Mendoza has checked into the game. Seems as if he's taken Bracken-Serra's spot. And after a dragging back of Shane DeFlores, the foul is called. Wingers trading flanks, just trying to find some sort of foothold in the front-facing area of the game. DeFlores over to the right. Also looks like Tomo Allen is coming to the game to lead the line. Donnery will spread wide, likely to play a more narrow winger position, and that provides the spot up top for Tomo Allen, who comes into this game with 2 goals and an assist on the young season. It's a lot of size to aim at in the vertical end for San Jose. Pair of forwards standing 6'4" and 6'5". See how much Shane DeFlores will stay on the right. Maybe he might tuck in underneath them. Griffith. Guided away by Martin Quende, who's had a pretty proficient day in the defensive responsibility as he puts in another tackle and presses it out for a corner. Swooping in at the near post. Looks like a well-sculpted ball. Fumbling it for a second there is Rajgopal. He had seen enough, not taking any more chances before ushering it over the touchline for a throw. Portland Timbers, too, starting to find a little bit more of the temperament required. Spivey, a jump and a juke. Edwin Mendoza gets his first taste of the game. Dandigir praised both of his low-lying midfielders. Rajgopal and Mendoza said that they really complement each other quite well. Lay down the beat for a game like a drummer would in any great bands. But there is a soft pocket for Zoida. Scooped in, and despite the fact that there were 3 Portland players in the middle of the area, only 2 defenders, lands straight on the head of one of those faithful few, minding the goal. Cervantes bending the corner, brushing it wide. Colin Griffith sticks it between the legs of Quende and gets busy towards goal. Full pile up at the near post, and it's out of play for a corner. That was breathtaking work from Colin Griffith, who not only got the better of Martin Quende, but also went heel to heel and coasted right on by Edwin Mendoza. And that's another corner. These have been fruitless affairs for Portland Timbers, too, so far in the game. What will be the 8th of the match? Already more than they had in the entirety of the game against Minnesota United, too, where they only took 5. Eric Zoida has been a busy boy. Academy product from Vancouver, Washington. A brisk breeze blowing in his face, as the referee will show a yellow card to Noah Santos for some reason. Must have been an engagement outside the bounds of play. He's been in the middle of a couple of kerfuffles, for lack of a better term. Referee not being very liberal with the conversation. The corner is queued up. San Jose will sit off and mark this zonally. It's a stilted effort in the end. And a bump and a foul. Does look like a Portland player is getting final instructions and grabbing the match shirt. All the wares required for the injection into the tie. Just at a glance, it looked like it would be a face that would not be welcomed very kindly by these San Jose Earthquakes 2 players, and that is because the hero of the first match on match day 1, Maximilian Kissel, is having some degree of conversation with the coaching staff. 72 minutes in. finally brought back in full form, in possession by San Jose Earthquakes 2. Cano. Heisner, and once more, it's out like Cano. Montali. Threaded into a dangerous area for Santos. Couldn't break by a whole host of San Jose defenders, but it's been resecured. If only for a moment. Pair of 73s coming to grips. Zoida and Jacob Heisner, and it's a throw-in for San Jose Earthquakes 2, and chance for a charge of changes for both managers. Already 2 made in the game by San Jose. It looks like they'll make a pair more. And it's brother for brother. Kadron Spivey coming on. Replaced by his older brother, Jermaine. And there is Kissel, confirmation, as he will be the debutant and entrant into the game for Portland's. Diogo Brandes Baptista is thrust into the contest by Dan DeGeer. 21-year-old who played collegiately at the University of New Hampshire, now in at left back. Immediately put through the paces, off the block, towards goal. Missed by a mile. Snatching at the chance. As it's smacked into Rosette by Brandes Baptista. So Quinde coming off, already on the booking. That's wisely managed by the manager, Dan DeGeer. I guess that is in the proviso and requisite responsibilities for being a manager is that you can manage a situation. I think he's got the CV for it. Coach DeGeer, seen a thing or two. First touch of the match for Maximilian Kissel. There's a throw-in for San Jose. This portion of the match is brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Less than befitting of the game we've seen, as neither side have crumbled in any degree so far, at least to the defensive end. Colin Griffith. Zoida looked like he was trying to open those hips up enough to give himself a chance to shape for a shot. Never really manifested, but he goes it again. Kissel, who is functioning in the middle. Cross is blocked by Shane DeFlores, and it's a throw-in to come for Portland. Muscled into the area. Cervantes. Eisner. Throw in. Bit brashly off of first Spivey and then Cano. Well, that's a good turn from Ondell. Could just be that little piece of suddenness from any of these 22 players that could completely rewrite what we've seen today. Saw that moment from Ondell. So you might be able to provide another. Bamford. That's more like it. Colin Griffith. And again, it's Bamford. Adolfo Enriquez De Flores comes to contest, and Portland punch away. This is a beautiful passage of play unfolding. Colin Griffith. Donnery's in front of him. Bodies in the box, in mass for Portland. Timbers to the shot comes! And creamed wide. Alex Bamford, who was in many ways the initiator of that passage of play, ends up popping up in the pivotal spot. Puts it just wide. It really is that close. Whiskering by the near post by an indiscriminate margin, if that. And poised and pushing on are Portland's. Slipping beneath the studs. The oncoming attacker, like Lucas Fernandez there, not lost the hold on it. And now Tomo Allen will tame it for San Jose. And that is a fateful deflection to Shane De Flores, who keeps it on, only for a mere moment. Connor Ferguson was tracing his steps back, and it's a throw in for San Jose. De Flores looks a little bit shaken up. Seemed like he had the hitch in his gait and thought about maybe going down. San Jose only have one more change to make, both in terms of the substitution windows and the overall number. They've made 4 in 2 instances. Modeling a well-charged ball forward. It's Maximilian Kissel at full gait. Breakneck speed off the back heel. Left for Zoida. Kissel again. And carried on a high angle and out for a goal kick. And everybody's stretching out now. Game jolting to life quickly. Zoida put one onto the palms of the goalkeeper, Montali, I should say. And it's a goal kick in the end. Francisco Montali, as well as his compatriot Sam Joseph in the Goalkeepers Guild, both happy with a clean sheet. We'll see a more thorough examination in penalties if there is no point of difference. Yellow card. Looks like to Azoida. Ten minutes now. The last game of the match week looks as if it might go the distance. Diogo Brendes Baptista looks as if he might want to go quickly. He won't ever get the chance, though. One more change to be made. Fresh set of legs coming in at fullback. Looks like Alexander Ling launched into the tie, replacing Jacob Heisner, who did a lot of running down the touchline throughout the course of the game. 81 minutes in. Kissel throws himself at it, and that bravery is rewarded. Ferguson flings centrally. Kissel snaking and steaming wide, rolled across the 6. And arriving there first were San Jose in defense. Oh no. Up for grabs. Taken down calmly by Alex Bamford. San Jose did lose their most recent shootout, coming against Real Monarchs in their last match. Portland, as we've stated a couple times throughout the game, have had a bunch of draws, 4 to be precise this year, and have not fared very well in those shootouts. Only one loss on the season, but in the bottom half of the playoff picture in the West because of how those drawn ties have gone. Spivey sprinting ahead, and all of a sudden it's San Jose. Jermaine Spivey has lost the plot. San Jose might be able to piece it back together, though. Jogo, Brendez Baptista, Julian Donnery, Brendez Baptista again, and completing the triangle. It is Julian Donnery gliding in across. Donnery again, he had stayed on the side. Couldn't stay with the attack, and it's a foul called against San Jose. Bamford turning Spivey inside out. Only 4 shots throughout the course of the entire game for San Jose Earthquakes 2. De Flores darting in towards the top of the box. Still De Flores! It would have been a wonder run. It was everything but the finish in the end, though. Took on all comers as Donnery screams back in defense to maybe turn Portland away. Cervantes. Player loses his footing as the ball comes goalward. Kissel! Kissel again! It's Colin Griffith, in fact, who has flushed it home at the death for Portland Timbers 2. A sequel to what we saw in match week 1. And it's heartbreak for San Jose here at the finish line. A game that's far from over, but the focus finally breaks. And there to stare back through the crack up is Colin Griffith, who makes it consecutive games with goals. That is a sweet strike, as Francesco Montali had nothing he could do to deter. A goal that was a match worth in the making. Third of the year for Colin Griffith. And it could be the determinant strike in the game. Spivey on the attacking end. Tilted in for Tomo Allen. Portland put themselves back behind the ball. The man of the hour will collect things to toss it back in play. This is actually Kissel. He's lost the ball. It slopes out for a throw-in to come. Portland would be the first team to take all 3 points here, with San Jose as the host in a match in 2026. They are absolutely exhausting the game right now, suffocating things, and they'll add a couple of changes to continue that effort. Looks like Daniel Nunez as well as Ben Bargiello. End of the line for the goal scorer, Colin Griffith. So, too, that will be the case. Well, it looked as if the referee had stuck up the number 49, but in fact it's Daniel Cervantes who makes way. Two of your most forward-thinking starters coming off. Seems sensible enough from Jack Cassidy. And we will see what there is for stoppage time. We're about 60 seconds from it. Dosey doing toward the touchline was Alex Bamford, and throw in to come for Ben Bargiello and company. Spun back in the direction of the goalkeeper, but Maximilian Kissel was hot on the heels. Still pressing hard, Portland. A slicing tackle from Ben Bargiello with no advantage presenting it will be an instant yellow card. Tick, tick, tick. Not much left to it now. Cutting down to the quick in San Jose. Need to dig that ever so tiny bit deeper. See if there's anything in this for them other than 0 points and a rough night of sleep at the end of a exhausting affair that's tested their physicality, their stamina, and their focus. We're into 5 minutes of stoppage time. Feels a little bit heavy-handed, but San Jose will be happy to try and make use of every moment they can get. Ondo can't get rid, but off the carom, it will go out for a throw. Sent straight towards the corner. Direct path of play. Kept in by Shane DeFlores. Rajgopal won't be so lucky. It's a throw-in for Portland Timbers. Deflected down to Nunez. Another throw-in for the Oregonians. Spinning away is Nunez, who nudges into the area and wins a corner kick. No doubt where this one is likely going. Not only does playing short exhaust as much time as possible, but beyond that prevents any kind of transitional phase following the corner are still about 3 players that could be avenues and options if the ball was sent in, but instead it's played short. Digging away at it are several San Jose players, chiefly among them Shane DeFlores. Still there. Nunez. Kissel. A backboard at the top of the box. Portland keeping the throttle down. Scooped up by Montali. Rolls it away, and there's plenty of space on this near touchline. Jogo, Brendes, Baptista, and Donnery needing of urgency. San Jose Earthquakes 2. Donnery goes direct. Headed away. Alexander Ling. Maybe 90 seconds left. 90 seconds on 90 minutes and then some. Ling launching in. It falls free. Cano gets a look. Still not clear. Goalkeeper losing in earnest his footing. And then finding the ball falling into his lap. Fortunate there, maybe a little bit, Sam Joseph. Not nearly enough bite, though, as Cano just had a poke and a prod. Into the final minute, Zoida. Spivey, only as far as Adolfo Enriquez. And Portland look unbothered. Lucas Fernandez splitting through a pair of challenges. Remaining amidst the ball. Portland Timbers 2. Will San Jose touch it again? A flash and a flick up. And Nunez in the corner. Ling lunging at it. It's a throw in to come. That could be it. Zoida. They just can't get the ball off them. Well, there they do. It is a goal kick, and that will be the last go of it for San Jose. As far as it can be flung from Francesco Montali, and onto it is Tomo Allen. As it's taken across the finish line with Portland Timbers 2 taking all 3 points on the road. 7 games on the spin, unbeaten for the Portlanders. And Jack Cassidy's bunch are soaring here in the Western Conference. The man of the match is, of course, Colin Griffith. The decisive kick in a game that looked like it might go without incident into penalties. Hit with every ounce of conviction on offer as Griffith finally finds what it takes to break through. Back-to-back games with goals from him and consecutive games in this series that ends harshly in heartbreak for San Jose Earthquake 2. It was in the 89th minute in Oregon. It's in the 86th minute in the Bay. And it's 1-0 when the final bell tolls, favoring Portland Timbers 2. Our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, folks, again, I've been Peyton Geller. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLSNextPro.com and OneFootball. But for now, we say happy trails and good night. We'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.